This is Raju sir, lecturer in chemistry. I have 15 years experience in the lecturer field. Today I am going to discuss about the basic points in the chemistry. I think a lot of students are there suffering from the chemistry. I hope this video is very useful to you. So listen carefully. Okay. Based on the number of atoms, molecules are classified into two types. They are, first one is diatomic molecules. Second one is polyatomic molecules. Thus, we can classify the molecules into two types based on the number of atoms. So first of all, let us take diatomic molecules. Diatomic molecules means the molecules having only two atoms are called diatomic molecules. Let us take some examples. H2, N2, O2, etc. Okay, these are the diatomic molecules containing two atoms. Second one is polyatomic molecules. So polyatomic molecules means the molecules having more than two atoms are called polyatomic molecules. So the polyatomic molecule should have more than two atoms. That is, the polyatomic molecules may have 3 atoms or 4 atoms or 5 atoms, etc. For example, if you take carbon dioxide molecule, in the carbon dioxide molecule, how many atoms are there? There are 3 atoms. One is carbon atom, remaining 2 are oxygen atoms. So it is a polyatomic molecule. Next example is CH4, methane. There are 5 atoms containing 1 carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atoms. So these are the examples for polyatomic molecules. In polyatomic molecules, one atom is act as central atom. Okay, now commonly in the polyatomic molecules, we should consider one atom as a central atom. So first of all, we should know about the central atom. Central atom means what? Let us define the central atom. Suppose if we take MX2 type molecule, MX2, how many atoms are there in the MX2 molecule? There are 3 atoms. One atom is M, remaining 2 atoms are X. So it is a polyatomic molecule. In this molecule, each X atom is having only one bond, but the atom M is having 2 bonds. So central atom means an atom which is having more number of bonds with other atoms in a polyatomic molecule is called central atom. So central atom should have more number of bonds with other atoms. Such atom is called as central atom. So in the given MX2 molecule, central atom is what? Where central atom is M, because it is having more number of bonds. So this is the definition of the central atom. So like that, we have to identify central atom. Okay. Next, the important word is valency. Valency. Let us see what is called valency. Valency means the total number of bonds present around the central atom in a polyatomic molecule is called valency. Right? Valency means the total number of bonds. the total number of bonds means there are two types of bonds in the molecules. One is sigma bond, another type is phi bond. So while we are identifying the valency of a central atom, we should count total number of sigma bonds as well as total number of phi bonds. So the total number of bonds present around the central atom in a polyatomic molecule is called valency. Okay. In the given mx2 molecule, how many number of bonds present around the central atom? There are two bonds. That's why valency of atom M is 2. If valency is 2, then it is called divalency. If valency of central atom is 2, then it is called divalency. If valency is 3, then it is called trivalency, tetravalency, pentavalency, etc. etc. Okay. Next, the most important thing is valency of a central atom is equal to number of unpaired electrons present in its outermost cell. Suppose if valency of central atom is 2, then the central atom must have 2 unpaired electrons in its outermost cell. If valency is 4, then it must have 4 unpaired electrons in outermost cell. Like that, valency of a central atom must be equal to number of unpaired electrons present in its outermost cell. Okay, this is about valency. The term valency is played an important role in the identification of hybridization. Okay, now valency is the very important word in the identification of hybridization. Actually, there are 3 important hybridizations. They are sp hybridization, sp2 hybridization, sp3 hybridization. Okay, these are the most important hybridizations in the chemistry. We will discuss later about the definition of the hybridization. Okay, in the sp hybridization, how many number of orbitals are there? There are 2 orbitals. One is s orbital, another one is p orbital. So there are 2 orbitals in the sp2 hybridization. Next, how many number of orbitals are there in the sp2 hybridization? There are 3 orbitals. One s orbital, 2 are p orbitals. So totally 3 orbitals are there in the sp2 hybridization and 4 orbitals are there in the sp3 hybridization. So these are the most important hybridizations in the chemistry. Okay, here how we can identify the hybridization based on the valency. Let us see. Here, while you identifying the hybridization, first of all, you have to count the total number of sigma bonds present around the central atom. Okay, now, while you identifying the hybridization of central atom, first of all, you should count total number of sigma bonds present around the central atom. You don't count the number of phi bonds. Just you should count total number of sigma bonds present around the central atom. But while you identifying the valency, you should count total number of sigma bonds and total number of phi bonds. But while you identifying the hybridization of a molecule, just you should count total number of sigma bonds present around the central atom. When you counting the total number of sigma bonds present around the central atom, if you will get only 2 sigma bonds, then you have to choose the hybridization containing 2 orbitals. Understand? While you counting the total number of sigma bonds present around the central atom, if you will get 2 sigma bonds, then you have to choose the hybridization containing two orbitals. So the hybridization containing two orbitals is what? The hybridization containing two orbitals is sp. Otherwise, if you will get 4 sigma bonds, then you have to choose the hybridization containing 4 orbitals. So the hybridization containing 4 orbitals is what? sp3 hybridization. Like that, you have to identify the hybridization of molecule based on the valency. Now let us take some examples. Okay, we will take methane molecule CH4. This is the methane molecule. Next, second molecule is ammonia. Next, water. Okay, thus we have taken 3 types of molecules. In the methane molecule, central atom is carbon. Okay, now in the methane molecule, central atom is carbon. Actually, each and every element must have equal number of valency electrons to its group number. It is very, very important basic point. Each and element must have equal number of valency electrons to its group number. So in the methane molecule, central atom is carbon, which belongs to 4th A group. As carbon belongs to 4th A group, it should have how many number of valency electrons? It should have 4 valency electrons. Okay, so in each bond, 2 electrons are present. This electron belongs to hydrogen, this electron belongs to carbon. So these are the 4 electrons of carbon. As carbon belongs to 4th A group element, it should have 4 valency electrons. All the 4 electrons of carbon atom are participated in the bonding. So there is no any electrons remaining on the carbon. All the electrons are participated in the bonding. So there is no any electrons remaining on the carbon. But in the ammonia molecule, central atom is what? In the ammonia molecule, central atom is nitrogen, which belongs to 5th A group. 5th A group. As nitrogen belongs to 5th A group, it should have how many number of valency electrons? It should have 5 valency electrons. In which 5 valency electrons, how many number of electrons are participated in the bonding? Only 3 electrons are participated in the bonding. So it should have how many more number of electrons? It should have 2 more electrons. 2 electrons means 1 lone pair. That's why I am showing 1 lone pair of electron on the nitrogen. Okay, now why I am showing 1 lone pair of electron on the nitrogen? As nitrogen belongs to 5th A group, it should have 5 valency electrons, in which only 3 electrons are participated in the bonding. So 2 electrons are remaining over the nitrogen. 2 electrons means 1 lone pair. That's why I am showing 1 lone pair of electron on the nitrogen. Okay, this is the first of all structure of ammonia molecule. Next, in the water, central atom is what? Central atom is oxygen. Oxygen belongs to which group? Oxygen belongs to 6th A group. That's why it should have 6 valency electrons. How many electrons of oxygen are participated in the bonding? Only 2 electrons are participated in the bonding. So it should have how many more number of electrons? Out of 6 valency electrons, only 2 electrons are participated in the bonding. So oxygen should have 4 more electrons. 4 electrons means how many number of lone pairs? 2 lone pairs. That's why we should show 2 lone pairs on the oxygen. So in the water molecule, 2 lone pair of electrons are present over the oxygen. In the ammonia molecule, one lone pair of electron is present over the nitrogen. There is no any lone pairs over the carbon in the methane molecule. Okay, now you have to remember like that. If anybody asks you that why you showing the lone pair of electron over the nitrogen, then what will you say? You will say that as nitrogen belongs to 50A group, it should have 5 valency electrons, in which 5 valency electrons, only 3 electrons are participated in the bonding. So it should have 2 more electrons. 2 electrons means 1 lone pair. That's why I am showing 1 lone pair of electron over the nitrogen. You will say like that. Okay. Now we will identify the hybridization of each molecule. What I told you about the hybridization, while you identifying the hybridization, you should count the total number of sigma bonds present around the central atom. If we take methane molecule, central atom is carbon. So how many number of sigma bonds are present around the carbon? First of all, you remember it. Always all the single bonds are sigma bonds. There is no doubt. All the single bonds are sigma bonds. So totally 4 sigma bonds are present around the carbon. So 4 sigma bonds are present around the carbon. That's why we have to choose the hybridization containing 4 orbitals. So the hybridization containing 4 orbitals is what? sp3. So hybridization of methane molecule is sp3. Next, we will go to ammonia molecule. In the ammonia molecule, central atom is nitrogen. How many sigma bonds are there around the nitrogen? There are 3 sigma bonds. Here one more important point is, while you identifying the hybridization, if any lone pair of electrons are present over the central atom, then you should consider each lone pair of electron as a sigma bond. Don't forget. Very, very important point. Okay, if any lone pair of electrons are present over the central atom, then you should consider each lone pair of electron as a sigma bond. So including this lone pair of electron, totally 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sigma bonds are there. That's why the hybridization of nitrogen will be what? In the ammonia molecule, sp3. So hybridization of ammonia molecule is also sp3. Next, let us move to water molecule. In the water molecule, actually 2 sigma bonds are present around the oxygen, but 2 lone pair of electrons are there. Each lone pair of electron is act as sigma bond. So totally, how many number of sigma bonds are there? There are 4 sigma bonds. That's why hybridization of water molecule is also sp3. Like that, you have to identify the hybridization of a molecule. You can identify hybridization of any molecule in this way. Okay, next. Now, we will discuss about the geometry also. Geometry. Commonly, sp3 hybridized molecules are in the tetrahedral geometry. Okay, now commonly all the sp3 hybridized molecules should be in the tetrahedral geometry, not 100%. Here, if you write the before the geometry, if you write the number of lone pairs over the central atom, number of lone pairs, there is no any lone pair of electrons over the carbon. So number of lone pairs 0, where 1 lone pair of electron is there. Here 2 lone pairs are there. Okay, now let us discuss about the geometry. After sp3 hybridization, If there is no any lone pair of electrons over the central atom, then geometry is tetrahedral. Tetrahedral. After sp3 hybridization, if there is no any lone pair of electrons over the central atom, then geometry is tetrahedral. After sp3 hybridization, if one lone pair of electron is there, then the geometry is what? Pyramidal. 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 If two lone pairs are there over the central atom, then geometry is V-shape. V-shape. Hybridization of all the molecules is same, but they are differ in their geometry. Actually, 4 types of geometries are possible with the sp3 hybridization. 4 types of geometries are possible with sp3 hybridization. First one is tetrahedral, second one is pyramidal, third one is V-shape, and fourth one is linear. Okay, now. Next, if you write the bond angle values also, bond angle. Actually, sp3 hybridized molecules should have 109 degrees 28 minutes of bond angle. 109 degrees 28 minutes of bond angle. That is approximately 109 degrees. So here the bond angle of methyl molecule is 109 degrees. As per sp3 hybridization, ammonia also should have 109 degrees of bond angle, but it will have only 107 degrees of bond angle. That is 2 degrees of bond angle is less than expected as per hybridization. Actually, it should also have 109 degrees of bond angle, but it is having only 107 degrees of bond angle. Next, actually as per sp3 hybridization, water molecule also should have 109 degrees of bond angle, but only 104 degrees of bond angle is present. So why they should differ in the bond angle when hybridization is same? We will discuss later why the bond angle is different. Okay, now. So here we are identifying the hybridization based on the number of sigma bonds. Okay, so we have discussed about 2 types of points. First one is valency, second one is hybridization. So you remember it. Valency means total number of bonds present around the central atom. Total number of bonds means sigma bonds as well as phi bonds. So when only we are identifying the valency, we have to count total number of sigma bonds and total number of phi bonds. You don't forget, Amma, valency is equal to number of unpaired electrons present in its outermost cell. ఒక సెంట్రల్ ఆటమ్ చుట్టూ బాండ్స్ ఎన్నైతే ఉంటాయో దాని అవుటర్ మోస్ట్ సెల్లులో నంబర్ ఆఫ్ అన్పేర్డ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ అంతే ఉండాలి. ఎట్టి పరిస్థితుల్లో మర్చిపోవద్దు. హైబ్రిడైజేషన్ ఐడెంటిఫై చేసేటప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తున్నాం? సెంట్రల్ ఆటమ్ చుట్టూ ఉన్నటువంటి టోటల్ నంబర్ ఆఫ్ సిగ్మా బాండ్స్ను కౌంట్ చేస్తున్నాం. అందులో 5 బాండ్స్ను తీసుకోకూడదు. హైబ్రిడైజేషన్ ఐడెంటిఫై చేసేటప్పుడు సిగ్మా బాండ్స్ను మాత్రమే కౌంట్ చేయాలి. ఓకేనా? నెక్స్ట్ వన్ మోర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్ ఈజ్ వాట్? While you identifying the hybridization, each lone pair of electrons should be considered as sigma bond. It is very, very important point. Okay, like that you have to identify the hybridization. Okay, next one more important point is the term valency played an important role in the identification of hybridization. That is, when a molecule is participated in the hybridization, it may be participate in the hybridization as per ground state configuration or excited state configuration. So based on the valency, we can tell whether a central atom participate in hybridization as per ground state configuration or excited state configuration. Let us see by taking one example. For example, CO2 molecule and carbon monoxide molecule. CO2 molecule and CO molecule. In the carbon dioxide molecule, central atom is carbon. Okay, central atom is carbon. Next, each oxygen atom is having double bond. Double bond. You don't forget, Amma, in a double bond, one is sigma bond, another one is phi bond. Okay, this is the sigma bond, this is the phi bond. So in a double bond, one is sigma bond, another one is phi bond. If you take triple bond, only the middle bond is sigma bond, remaining two bonds are phi bonds. So in a triple bond, only one sigma bond is there. In a double bond, only one sigma bond is there. Okay, so totally how many number of sigma bonds are present around the carbon? There are two sigma bonds. Next, valency of the carbon is how much? Valency means total number of bonds. Sigma bonds as well as phi bonds. So valency of the carbon is 4, but total number of sigma bonds are 2. As total number of sigma bonds are 2, hybridization of carbon will be what? The hybridization containing 2 orbitals is what? sp. The hybridization of carbon atom is sp. sp. Okay, now let us write configuration of carbon. Carbon atomic number is 6. So configuration will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. This is the carbon configuration. Okay. Here, second shell is the outermost shell. First shell is the inner shell. We will write ground state configuration. Ground state configuration. According to the ground state configuration, 2s2, 2s2. Okay, 2 orbitals are present in the s orbital and 2 electrons are present in the p orbital. P orbitals are 3. They are px orbital, py orbital, pz orbital. There are 2 electrons in the p orbital, in which 1 electron is in the px orbital, second electron is in the py orbital, pz orbital is empty. So this is the ground state configuration. Here important point is there. That is what the important point is. Here hybridization of carbon atom is sp. Does it participate in sp hybridization as per ground state configuration or excited state configuration? How we can tell? We can tell it based on the valency. What I told you? I told you that valency of central atom must be equal to number of unpaired electrons present in its outermost shell. So in the carbon dioxide molecule, valency of carbon is how much? Valency of carbon is 4. When valency is 4, it should have how many number of unpaired electrons? 4 unpaired electrons. But according to ground state configuration, how many number of unpaired electrons are there? There are only 2 unpaired electrons. Okay, as per ground state configuration, the carbon atom is having only 2 unpaired electrons. But according to valency, it should have how many number of unpaired electrons? 4 unpaired electrons. But there is no 4 unpaired electrons as per ground state configuration. Then what we have to do? We have to excite the ground state configuration for getting 4 unpaired electrons. So when we should excite the ground state configuration, if there is no equal number of unpaired electrons to valency of the central atom, then only we have to excite the ground state configuration. If equal number of unpaired electrons to the valency of central atom are present in the ground state configuration, then excitation is not needed. Very, very important point. Remember it. When we should excite the ground state configuration? If there is no equal number of unpaired electrons to the central atom valency, then we have to excite the ground state configuration. Otherwise, excitation is not needed. Okay. So here, as per ground state configuration, only 2 unpaired electrons are there, but carbon needed how many number of unpaired electrons? 4 unpaired electrons, because carbon valency is 4. That's why if we excite the ground state configuration, one of the 2s electron is promoted into pz orbital. As a result, excited state configuration, according to excited state configuration, only 2s1, then already px1, py1, now pz also 1. This is the excited state configuration of carbon. So as per excited state configuration, 4 unpaired electrons are there, which are equal to valency of the carbon atom. Valency is 4. That's why as per excited state configuration, which is having 4 unpaired electrons. Totally, how many number of orbitals are there having the unpaired electrons? 4 orbitals are there. So how many orbitals will participate in the sp hybridization? How many orbitals are there in sp hybridization? 2 orbitals are there. They are what? One is s orbital, another one is p orbital. So totally, how many number of orbitals are participating in the sp hybridization? 2 orbitals are participating. That's why we will get 2 sp hybridized orbitals. So this is the hybridization of carbon in the carbon dioxide molecule. So based on the valency, we have excited the ground state configuration of carbon. Very, very important point. When we should excite the ground state configuration, when we should not be excite the ground state configuration is decided the valency of the central atom. Now let us take carbon monoxide molecule. Carbon monoxide. In the carbon monoxide molecule, central atom is carbon. Central atom is carbon. Now, according to the given structure, how many number of valency electrons of carbon atom are participated in the bonding? Only 2 electrons are participated in the bonding. So it should have how many more number of electrons? 2 more electrons, because carbon belongs to 4th A group. That's why we will show one lone pair of electron over the carbon. Okay, so in the carbon monoxide, one lone pair of electron is present over the carbon. What I told you, each lone pair of electron is act as sigma bond. So how many number of sigma bonds are present around the carbon? 2 sigma bonds are present. This one, 2 sigma bond. So the hybridization of carbon will be what? Sp. Okay now. Carbon dioxide molecule hybridization is sp. Carbon monoxide molecule hybridization is also sp. But you can identify the difference between carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide on the basis of structure. What you are observing the difference between carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide based on the structure, where valency of carbon is 4, but here valency of carbon is 2. How many number of bonds are there? 1, 2. While you identifying the valency, you don't count the number of lone pairs. కేవలం హైబ్రిడైజేషన్ను ఐడెంటిఫై చేసేటప్పుడు మాత్రమే లోన్ పేర్ ఆఫ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ సిగ్మా బాండ్ అనుకోవాలి. నువ్వు దాని వ్యాలెన్స్ని కౌంట్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఈ లోన్ పేర్ ఆఫ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ బాండ్గా కౌంట్ చేయకూడదు. కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ 2 బాండ్సే ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి కార్బన్ యొక్క వ్యాలెన్సీ ఎంత? 2a. ఓకే, నౌ let us write the carbon configuration. 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So as per ground state configuration, this is the outermost shell configuration. So 2s2, next 2p2, that is 2px1, 2py1, 2pz is 0. This is the ground state configuration. Okay. As per ground state configuration, there are two unpaired electrons. Okay. Shall we exit the ground state configuration or not? Already we known. That is what hybridization of carbon is sp. Shall we exit the ground state configuration of carbon atom or not? How we can say? We can say that based on the valency. Here valency is 2. So it should have how many number of unpaired electrons? 2 unpaired electrons are enough because valency is 2. So equal number of unpaired electrons are present in the ground state configuration or not? There are equal number of unpaired electrons are present in the ground state configuration. That's why excitation is not needed. That's why hybridization of carbon is sp. So 1 s orbital, 1 p orbital. Totally 2 sp hybridized orbitals. So here the important difference between carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide is actually both carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide are participate in the sp hybridization, but carbon dioxide molecule participated in the sp hybridization according to excited state configuration, but carbon monoxide participated in the sp hybridization according to ground state configuration. This is the main difference between the carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. So these are the some basic points for learning chemistry. Okay, we will discuss several basic points about the chemistry in the next class. So you encourage me. If you encourage me, I will give lot of basic points in the chemistry. If you like my class, please you subscribe it. Okay, thank you.